Hello! Welcome to Gaming Takes Ages. We wiggle now. I am
It's
Teal.
it's too hot for this. Also, no one who's listening can tell what's happening.
Yeah, we're just moving around. Uh, it's just because if you watch the visual version, it's blurred out, and then it fades into us. Uh, and sometimes we just make movements before then. I'm like, oh right, yeah, that actually gets seen, doesn't it? Whoops. So just play into it. Hi.
And I'm Emil.
Yay! Good to see you again. How are you
I'm
doing?
I'm wearing the same shirt as last time because this is my "It's really hot" shirt, and guess what? It's really hot, and I had to close the window for this. So
Yeah, this is your I don't have to edit the thumbnail shirt. Thank you. I've already got an
yes,
image of you in that shirt. Wonderful.
but is it
Eventually,
is it as sensual as this one?
over over the course of the next 20 weeks or so, maybe I've got your entire wardrobe as a different
Hmm.
image for the thumbnails. That's
Oh,
why I
that's a challenge then.
that's why I wear this. I don't have to change me. I look the same all the
No, you
time.
wear that because you're a cartoon teal. We all know it.
It's true. It is true. Thank you for bringing that up. Have you played anything this fine day? This fine.
Yeah. Well, not today. I haven't played anything today. It's been too hot to do anything at all.
It sure has.
Um, yes. So I was recently with our dear friend David.
Hmm.
And if you can say one thing about David, is that guy has a Switch too. Um,
And nothing else of note.
there's nothing else significant about him. Yes. So I played the Switch too. And we played Mario Kart, and I
8
enjoyed it.
Deluxe. Yeah. The old one.
Uh, no, World,
Hmm.
World. Um, and what else did we played? I was kind of interested in the GameCube emulator thing
Mm.
that's on there, so we played some of the stuff on there. We played F-Zero, which I was real bad at, and we played Soul Calibur, and
Hmm.
we were both deeply intrigued by Voldo, as we
Wait,
always are, as anyone is when they play Soul Calibur.
I don't remember who that is.
Have you played Soul Calibur?
Once at David's years ago.
Okay, I kind of feel now like I should send you a video of Voldo and you should react to it live because Voldo is an experience.
Okay. Oh, Voldo is Voldo is awesome. Voldo is exquisite. Yes. I wish I was that flexible. Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, I'm happy not to have swords for hands, but oh, the
Yeah.
thrusting, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
If I remember correctly, one of the moves Voldo has is called Snake Eater, where when Voldo gets on their knees and attacks someone's crotch.
Oh, I thought they were gonna eat their own legs. Okay,
No.
right, understood. Well, that's cool. I appreciate Voldo. Um,
Yes, David, being the man he is, decided to look up the origins of Voldo and some of the trivia, and
oh
turns
no.
out a lot of that was mocap. They got some like contortionists in and
Awesome.
were surprised by what they could do. Voldo has a strange backstory. Um, Voldo. This
Sweet.
episode is sponsored by Voldo.
And yeah, you said you played Mario Kart. Well, did you enjoy it? Like,
Yeah, I believe I said that I enjoyed it.
well, yeah, but I mean, kind of elaborate. Like, did you get to play much
No,
of it, or?
no, I came first. That was nice
Hey, nice,
after a few turns.
nice.
Yeah, it's it's Mario Kart.
It
I mean,
sure
it's
is.
it's not quite the classic Mario Kart that you know, but it's still Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was cool.
yeah, it is fun.
Um, and I'll say one thing here. I'm going to say something. Something is about to be said.
Hmm.
It is about the GameCube controller, which I played with when we played the GameCube stuff because
Yes.
David is in love with the GameCube, so of course he has a GameCube controller. Why did they stop doing this thing?
I don't know.
The When I was playing Celeste, how many times in Celeste are you dashing one way and then you realize that
Yep.
you've actually gone in a different? if that was on all controllers, that would never happen because I
Yeah.
would just know. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, so around the analog stick, uh, instead of a circular hole, it's a octagonal hole.
Mm.
So in each of the cardinal directions and the diagonals, you it sort of slides
Yeah, it
into the
slides into it.
point, so
Yeah.
you know you're. I mean, I guess I know why games stopped doing that because it's sort of a relic of a bygone era. Like the idea of analog is that it's supposed to be completely free movement, and with like what games are now, I can see why that is not so necessary for them.
Mm.
But not all games.
Yeah.
Celeste is not an old game, and I would
Well,
have loved to have it with
I
that.
brought that up in my video about
Dyspraxia.
yeah, dyspraxia
Mm.
and helping people to play games. Like it is a very helpful controller. It's arguably the best for someone like me.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah, so
even I don't have dyspraxia. I
yeah,
really feel like it's better.
yeah, it's great.
Even if they just had, like, I feel like this technology is not out of reach. If they just had like a little switch by the where the analog stick is, you
And
like
something
just
goes
a
in.
tiny little and an aperture, like a
Ah,
you
yeah,
know, like
yeah,
on a
yeah,
camera where it's like 8
yeah.
different planes come in and lock in place, and then you can switch between completely round
Yeah.
and octagonal.
I could see that costing at least $20 more. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which is not that much.
No, it isn't. For
It's
some, if
it's
it's something you
this is
need,
like
it really isn't.
technology that we had in flipping 1800s.
Yeah, yeah, it would be cool. I do like the controller a lot. You mentioned F-Zero. I played F-Zero for the first time in London because there was
Mm.
a GameCube like stand when I went to play the Switch 2 there. And it was fun. I did the first cup, or as much as yeah, I did the first cup, and I tried to do like the next race, and then it kicked me out because you get like 15 minutes. And it's like no, back to the menu. Um, and yeah, it was really nice. The person who was there at the booth, I don't know if she worked with Nintendo or if she just worked at the venue or whatever, but I appreciated that I made Yu-Gi-Oh references, and she also made Yu-Gi-Oh references. So thank you for supporting my nerdy nature. But
Maybe
yeah,
she was just a figment of your imagination.
but no, it
There
was
was
cool.
no one there,
I
Teal.
I
You were
really
standing there
liked
all
I
alone.
really liked playing the game. It felt great.
I
And she was
found
there.
it
Don't
very
take this away from
difficult.
me.
It was which F-Zero is it exactly? F-Zero
Uh,
something?
GX.
Yep, I think so.
That which is
Um
also a Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon.
ah
um,
yeah, I found it very difficult. It was very responsive, too
mm,
responsive for me, I think.
that's
Yeah, you
fair.
missed out by doing just the first cut because some of those later tracks are absolutely
Yes, I am aware. I
wild,
do
like
plan
going
on
around
playing it at
an
some point.
outside of a tube and an inside of a tube, and
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
In
a
fact, one of them
it's
really reminded me of Jack 3,
mm, yeah,
the car thing that goes through the
yeah,
catacombs or whatever it is.
yeah. That's yeah. I mean, I know not Jet Zero. F-Zero is just
Who are you
very
saying Jeff Zero then?
a jet. I was gonna say Jet Set
Uh,
Radio. Uh,
Jeff Jeff Zero.
no, but that is what it should be called.
I thought I confused you by saying Jack.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it just twisted all the wires. But anyway, yeah,
Jeff and Daxter.
yeah.
Jeff Zero and Daxter.
Whatever I was going to say is not important anymore. What I've been playing, I played a game called Lost in Random: The Eternal Die,
Hmm.
which is, for those who don't know, it's a new roguelike. It's basically Hades, but it's just not. It's set in a different world. But if you want to compare it, Hades is the easiest comparison. It's interesting because the first Lost in Random game is not like this at all. It was a 3D platformer, which I've not played. I
Oh,
do want to
really
get around to
interesting.
playing. But it was a 3D platformer set in a world called Random, and you are the queen and you're trying to like reclaim the throne and various things are happening. And in this, you get put into a more random world within the Black Die itself. And inside is a roguelike world where you die and go back into a hub and buy things and upgrade your powers and go
Hmm.
back in and go through the floors and blah blah blah. And yeah, it is unbelievably fun. It much like Hades. You will have runs where it goes very badly, and you
Mm.
just don't get the kind of loadout that you personally like. Because I
Speak
think,
for yourself, man. Get good.
well, yeah, well, as I say, I think regardless of what you get, you have the potential to win.
Hmm.
But if you are not that kind of a player, like I am a very attack first, dodge, attack, like I don't attack from a distance. I go head first into people, and it doesn't work all the time.
Mm.
Especially in this game, so many enemies will punish you for that. And I mean, you can always do it without getting hit, but in any way you play, but it's still like you do get punished if you are not cautious. And I definitely wasn't, and it really punished me in later levels. But it's just so much fun. But I had a run. I think it was like run 5 where I was at the final boss, and I was so close to winning, and I lost. I was like, oh, that's so devastating. I'm so sad that that happened. And the next run went really bad, and then run 7 was unbelievable. I got an item that every how does it work? So every 3 enemies I defeated, I would lose, I think, 3 health, but I would also gain uh 2% attack.
Hmm.
So that quickly became very powerful. And I had you get cards which do different things. So you can have one which is a wave of sand, which can also, as on top of hurting people, it also freezes them. There could be like a set of fireballs. It could be poison dart, stuff like that. I had an ice wall dash, so it basically but it's not in the same way where like you dash forward. It creates an ice wall and it's there for like 5 seconds, and you can dash as much as you want around them. So I basically created a wall of death that with every kill got more powerful, and I found different things to increase the power of cards. So I just became an
Hmm.
absolute tank and sliced the boss in like 30 seconds, the final boss.
Hmm.
Something that I was in for 5 to 10 minutes, desperately trying to stay alive. I just sliced in half. It was an unbelievable feeling. And then when I beat the game, they were like, "You can do more. There's harder versions now." I'm like, sweet. And
Hmm.
also, there's like multiple weapons, but I haven't even really tried. But it's just like, oh, the game's so fun. So if you like Hades, Lost in Randomly Eternal Die, absolutely worth your time. It is free on Game Pass as well. So if you have Game Pass, worth a look. If you don't have Game Pass, I think it's just like $1 or £1 to rent, to like start it for like 1 or 2 weeks. Like I can't remember how long it is because it has changed over the years, but it is very good as a deal. And yeah, it's not just that. There's also, hey, if you like Persona, Persona's on there. Metaphor. There's any Xbox game also. So yeah, there's many cool stuff on Game Pass, including Lost in Randomly Eternal Die.
Hmm.
Please support it. I don't
I,
feel like it's getting
I
enough
could
love.
I could really go for that ice wall right now.
hmm I
It's
wish I
it's
could
so
provide
hot.
you. I wish I could provide you with it, but I cannot. Um,
Yeah, I love when a roguelike has good synergies.
mm. Oh, it does. It
Just
really
like
does.
synergies in any game, really. I guess
Yeah. I
that's the given.
the biggest thing that annoys me with any roguelike is, as someone who records or streams games, it's very embarrassing early on because it's designed
Yeah,
to kill you because
yeah.
you have to boost yourself up. But it looks like from the outset that you are just bad, and there's
Mm.
no way of getting around that. It is
Yeah,
designed
and
to do
most
that.
people that are watching have got past that point and forgotten how bad they were at the start.
Yeah, or they
So they're
haven't
like,
seen the game and think you're
yeah.
just bad. And it's like, that's not what's happening. I have to explain myself, but it just looks like I'm a kid whining that, oh, I'm
Hmm.
not good at games. And like, no, I don't care that I'm bad, but you need to understand it's supposed to be hard right now. Like it will get easier. That's the point. But yeah, it's a great game. But anyway, every week we like to present an offering to the ancients. Who are they? What do they want? Are they cool where they are? I hope so.
Mm.
It sucks being hot, unless you love being hot, in which case, congratulations. I hope you're hot.
I love being so hot.
Yeah,
I don't.
you, but
It's
but
hard
you
being this
are,
hot.
but you are in every
Oh, thank you.
sense.
I
Um,
certainly am in some sense, in that I'm very hot right now.
yeah, in every sense.
Take
Um,
that how you wish.
would Would
You're
you
welcome.
like to begin, or would you like me to begin? Or...
I'll go. I've brought something very simple.
Is it the heat?
No. So there is a certain type of comedy of which you are very much not a fan. Would you like to guess what I'm referring to?
uh, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
Interesting.
You should know this instantly.
Well, I don't because I've actually stopped liking live shows as much
No, no,
recently.
no. Oh, forever. You've not. You've just. This is something a kind of comedy that is in a lot of things, and it's just not for you.
All right, go on. What is it? What have
It
you
is.
got?
It is. It is farting.
Yeah, it sure is. All right.
Teal's not a fan of farts.
No.
And I have a certain skill,
Oh God.
which is that my hands can make fart noises,
Okay.
with great ease. Yeah.
That's infinitely better than where I thought it was going. It's like,
Yes.
I can
Yeah.
make. I am
I
extremely
paused for
lactose
dramatic
intolerant.
effect.
Here's a bottle.
Yeah, but it's sort of become a stim for me where every now and then I'm just like idly just like, and then I realize when I'm in a call with someone, they don't know that I'm doing that.
Ah.
So it hasn't happened yet, but I'm worried it's going to happen. So I decided I will get on top of it now,
Right.
while at the same time annoying Teal with fart noises.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. For a second, I thought you were doing the Futurama theme. It's you again there. Anyway, thank you.
Anyway, yes, that's my offering.
Yeah, I'm just I mean I don't. The thing is, I will specify. I don't hate farts in general, but it's just usually if it's done in a sitcom, it's such lazy writing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so lazy, and I just don't.
Just
find
like
it funny.
now.
It's not lazy.
Anyway, keep talking.
But anyway, I was thinking. No.
What? This is my offering, Teal?
Yes, and it's
okay.
you passed it.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, we're done. We're done with that.
Yeah, I was thinking. We look at games. No. I will die.
Okay, I've got my fill. I got my fill of this.
Have you though? I was
thinking.
I'm done. We look
I
at
got
games,
the reaction I wanted.
We look at games from 25 years ago, and that's quite a nostalgic thing. But I mean, I don't know about you. I don't really feel nostalgic playing older games because even if it's a game from my childhood, because I usually play them once every year, every other year, every couple of years, whatever. And also, I play games as a job, so I thought I would actually try and provide nostalgia. For me, my nostalgia is VHS tapes.
I see.
I love VHS tapes. I've got a huge collection of cartoons, but I refuse to get rid of because I am an old man stuck in the past. And also, they are beautiful, beautiful things. So yeah, I've got a bunch of them. Rewinding cartoons and movies was a very lengthy part of my childhood, and I think kids today will never really experience that. Their equivalent is watching a 30-second ad and skipping it after 6 seconds. It's not quite the same, but that is their equivalent, and it's horrible. So what I thought would be fun would be to incorporate that nostalgia into this podcast. So
okay.
Yeah, here we go. When you watch or download a podcast, you need to know that the podcast you choose is suitable for the audience at home. To help you understand what the podcast is like, you can look at the certificate it has been given. This podcast has been classified as 12. That means this podcast is unsuitable for anyone younger than 12. A podcast with a 12 certificate may contain stronger moments of violence or references to sexual experience. There may also be swear words that you wouldn't find in a PG podcast. It is an offence to supply a podcast classified 12 to anyone below that age. Podcast certificates are there to give you the chance to make the right choice. Thanks for listening. Anyway, that's a very, very British
Yeah,
VHS
who
thing.
is this for? A very small subset of
It
our
is
viewers.
for the ancients. They need to know that they are watching a 12 podcast.
Mm.
Rated 12,000 million, 12 million in the podcast list of, yeah, it's just there's a lot of podcasts out there and we're not that highly ranked.
But ours has like such comedy as.
Yeah, and it has me reading the VHS certification, but changing the words to podcast.
I was hoping you were going to play the BBC video noise.
Oh, the what? The boom, boom, boom,
yeah, that one.
boom, 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 that one.
Yeah.
The one that sounds sinister. That one.
Yes.
Yeah, that
or
scared
the
me
classic dick.
Yeah, dick. Yeah, I do like that. Yeah, there's also the edit. I don't even know what the original clip is, but it's the one that goes dick.
Yeah.
Just someone just changes it. I really liked the Walt Disney home video. It was like anyway, I'm gonna stop doing that.
I don't know that one.
It's great. It's got Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, and he's like waving his hand, and then it's like Walt Disney home video in red text flies into it, and it's nice.
And then Mickey comes out, and then it's just like,
yeah.
Is that funny?
It's more funny than most sitcoms. So yeah. But yeah, no, I love VHS tapes, and they're an absolute joy.
My mum got rid of all of our VHS tapes when I was on holiday.
Oh, what? So you didn't even get a choice?
Yeah.
Oh, were there anything you desperately missed?
I don't know what we had because they were all sort of stashed away. But she did keep some from school. Our school would put on little plays, and they would film one each year. So we have those still.
I thought you meant you or your mum just stole some VHS tapes from your school. So we had Mr. Bean, we just took it. I presume that you at school did watch random stuff every so often when the teachers were hungover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good days. But no, that was how I discovered Tom and Jerry. Fun fact.
I also have a fun VHS story. So one time in year 8, I'm gonna say, which is when you were like 12 or 13, maybe year 9. I'm not sure. In geography, so I think it was usually towards Christmas or towards the end of the year, they might just put on a film for you to watch, for fun. And in geography, they put on Titanic.
Okay.
And if you've seen Titanic, surely?
I actually haven't.
Oh, Teal. Oh my goodness, you've not seen Titanic?
Oh, don't worry. You're not going to spoil it me. I know what happens.
Okay, anyway, there's a bit where Kate Winslet is nude.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah. And because it was a video, he's like, okay, I'm fast forwarding through this bit. I'm like, you know what fast forwarding works, right?
Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's great. I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised. It's not that hard to watch. Besides that, I suppose, is it? It's not. I don't. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I assume it's not like super difficult to watch for kids.
It's a bit traumatizing.
Okay, fair enough.
We didn't get that far. You only have an hour, so.
Yeah, isn't it like 3 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very long.
Fair enough. Well, did you appreciate our various stories?
No, the ancients would not allow it.
All right then.
Okay.
It was not to be.
That showed us.
All right, fair enough. VHSs are boring. Got it. All right. Well, here's the part where we look exactly 25 years ago. But we thought it'd actually be fun to take a week and appreciate the past decade of games.
Oh.
We're not looking at 25.
2010s.
No, sorry. Before that, the 90s. The 2090s.
Yes.
No, 1990 saw the release of the SNES and Sega Game Gear.
Wait, hang on a second.
Oh,
You just
what?
said 2090s, and then it occurred to me that that's gonna be an actual time that happens.
Yeah, but we'll be dead then, I hope.
Hopefully, because
Yeah.
that sounds horrifying. The 2090s.
Yeah. I mean, if we
We
do
might
live,
not be dead.
there are a couple ways in which we aren't. Given my diet, I will be. But I mean, if we for some reason have to move our brain into some kind of robot, then yeah, sure, we're alive.
I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not.
I'm
That's,
not
that
doing
sounds
that.
like an absolutely terrible thing. That's literally the Cybermen in Doctor Who. I'm not. No, I don't want that. But no. So we're looking at the 1990s,
Yes.
a lovely time. 1990 saw the release of the SNES and the Sega Game Gear. 1994, the PS1 and the Sega Saturn. That, however, the Sega Saturn was a year later for the rest of the world. 1995, the Virtual Boy. The 1996, the Nintendo 64. 1998, the Sega Dreamcast. So a pretty busy decade for consoles
Also,
and their evolution.
the 1990s saw the release of me
It did, and me.
and you
Yeah, we came
from our
screaming out.
respective mothers' wombs.
Yeah, I played Among Us in
You
Demetrium.
did, that's a callback.
Yeah, don't call it a comeback. They call it anyway. Yeah, so
Commit a callback. Commit. You have committed a callback. Don't call it a comeback. Commit a callback.
I wish I could say that. I can't tell if that's a thing you've invented, or if that's part of the song. I don't know the song.
It just happened just now, very
Great.
naturally, Teal.
Fantastic. But yeah, there are a lot of amazing games throughout the decade. Which ones impacted you the most, would you say?
None of them really.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Fair
I'm
enough.
messing.
No, all right, fair enough.
I've written some down. The 90s happened. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, we had an NES, and that was all that we had. And we had 3 games, and we never bought anything new. I knew no better. I was happy with my 3 games. I played them again and again and again and again and again and again and again.
And again.
And those 3 games, 2 of which we shall not talk about because they came out in the 1980s. But one of which came out in 1992.
I know,
Which is
because it's in my video.
earlier than me. And that game is Darkwing Duck on the NES.
Sure is.
That was one of the 3 games that I played for many, many years. And it's great.
It is.
I never finished it. I have since watched people finish it, one of them being you.
It is a hard game, genuinely.
I wish they'd add it to the Switch NES thing so that I could go and finish it.
Yeah, they definitely will not. It's too niche.
They won't, because it's also on the thing with DuckTales, isn't it?
Oh.
It's on a double game of DuckTales and Darkwing Duck.
Be. Yeah, there's some Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it might be. I don't recall if it is, but it probably is, yeah. Yeah, next to Tailspin, I would imagine.
It might be here somewhere in my house, but I don't know where.
Fair enough.
But I love that game. I love the music for that game. Still, it's a brilliant jazz soundtrack, but of course, like 8-bit jazz soundtrack.
Yeah. There's what, like 8 stages in the game, I think. I'd say there isn't a bad theme among them.
I think there's 7.
Yeah, maybe there is 7.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not a bad
all bangers all the way through. And that I never watched the Darkwing Duck cartoon. So Darkwing Duck to me is that game.
Right. Have you since?
I haven't since. I was going to at some point, and then I didn't. I don't know why.
I wonder if it was because you were going to watch it on YouTube, because it was probably in the era where people just uploaded stuff and then it got taken down.
Possibly.
Because that was, I think, it happened to a lot of people. Like someone was uploading The House of Mouse, which is still not on Disney Plus, to be clear. And like I actually like was watching it as people were just uploading it, and then I was like, oh my god, this is great. Like I never really got to watch it fully because I didn't have Sky or any way to watch it, and then Disney took it down because that's fair enough, they own it. But it's just like, oh, early YouTube was so carefree. I miss those days. Yeah.
Yeah. So you played Darkwing Duck as well.
I did.
It's good.
It is.
It's sort of like a Mega Man clone,
Yeah, very much
but
so.
it's also very much its own thing.
It is, yeah,
Like,
but they had made 4 Mega Man games up
it's
until that
Capcom.
point.
It's a Capcom
Yeah,
game.
they made 4 Mega Man games, so it was a very established franchise. They knew how to make a good one, so it's just an easy like clone that they could make for probably not as much money, and also make loads of money from publishing rights and popularity. So fair play. What else
So
do you
that
have?
was the first one. So yeah, like I said, we had the 3 games for a very long time until eventually, for my sister's birthday, she got a PlayStation 1. Whoa!
Whoa!
In fact, when I'm making that noise, the noise I should be making is boom. Yep, that's a PS1, which was also a CD player. Whoa! Oh my goodness, we had a CD
Yes.
player.
That was such a cool thing. Like I loved
Yeah.
the multiple effects that you could get. I really liked the really erratic, sharp,
Yes.
staticky thing. It was great.
Yes, it was good. So I distinctly, in fact, before we got a PS1, my sister's friend had a PS1, and I remember going to her house, and I distinctly,
Distinctly, yeah.
I distinctly remember the first time I ever saw Crash Bandicoot, and I didn't know what Bandicoot was, obviously, because nobody does and nobody would if not for Crash.
I think, to be
And
fair, if you saw an actual Bandicoot, you still wouldn't realise based
yes,
on Crash's design.
it blew my mind. I thought it was so cool. Like, I loved this character, and I loved, like, whenever he got hit, it went into like the black screen where he spins around and then falls. I was like, whoa! And I also broke my tooth on a chocolate snail.
Huh.
It was a
Impressive.
very hard chocolate snail, and it was okay because there was a little baby man, and that tooth later fell out. So
That
no
is good.
biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. But now, if my tooth falls out, it's a big issue.
It sure is. It's very expensive dental fees. Yeah. It's
Mm.
not great.
So that was cool. I think I went home and I made, because I used to make I made a lot of books, which was stapling a bunch of pieces of paper together and drawing on them, which was never more than 3 pages, despite the fact that I would staple like 10 pages together. I wasted a lot of paper as a child, but I drew a book that was it was called Bandicoot, I think, because I didn't know how to spell Bandicoot. And it was a character that was basically Crash. He had boxing gloves, but I think that's just because I thought Crash had boxing gloves.
That's fair.
And yeah, that is such a strong memory in my mind. But I loved Crash. We didn't have Crash 1 actually. When we got our PS1, we got Crash 3. And I guess later got Crash 2. Crash 2 is my favorite of the 3. I love Crash 2. I also love Crash 3 for different reasons, and I also love Crash 1 for different reasons. I'm guessing these Crash games are also on your list.
I won't bring them up.
You won't bring up the Crash games?
Well, I love them, but you've brought them up. They're yours.
Oh, they're mine. I own Crash.
One day though, we should actually do a video where I show you. I must still have them somewhere. I show you my childhood drawings of like Crash and stuff, because I used to draw just various gaming characters, and we, as a class, I convinced my class somehow, and I do mean the entire class, this was like year 2, to like help me come up with a Crash sequel, and we all created enemies and stuff. I don't know if I still have
Yeah, we
those.
did that as well.
I don't know how I convinced them, because I was the one that people used to bully. So I don't know how that happened.
Well, you obviously had a great idea.
Clearly.
Let's make a Crash sequel.
Yeah, this thing that people's never heard of. Yeah, let's make that.
I think there is an excitement to that one kid that is like trying to make a game and doesn't know at all what they're doing, but is like has the enthusiasm and feels like if they draw all these things and send them off to PlayStation, then a game will be made.
Yeah.
That was me. I was that kid.
Yeah. Apparently so was I.
I had a lot of drawings of like Mario levels. I would like draw out my own Mario levels and stuff. Yeah. Of course, Super Mario World did come out in 1990, I think.
Yeah, 90 or 91. Yeah, one or two, I think.
But I didn't play that for many years, and much later I played that, so I haven't really included it on the list. And then after Crash, there's another big franchise that stands out for me, which is, what is it, Teal? You know it. You know what it is.
Yeah, it's Stardew Valley. No, it's imagine like I created it 10 years earlier. No, I mean, I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to. It could be Spyro.
I never played Spyro. You know that.
I do know that. It's true. I do remember that.
What game have I played? What game series do I
Rayman?
love? It's Rayman. Yeah.
Ding.
Exactly. So Rayman was another one that we had. So Rayman is such a like. I feel like so many people have this experience of Rayman of never getting past Bongo Hills. This was never ever a problem in my life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I didn't know it was until I talked to other people about Rayman, because where I got stuck was Pitcher City. For many years, I didn't even get past it. I didn't get past Space Mama till I was like a teenager, and I came back to the game and I was like, wow, I can finally see what else is in this game. And there was someone at school who said that they had got past that, but I never believed them.
They could have used cheats, like they could.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I find the Cave of Scops, with the exception of the one water level, Eat Joe's, I find the rest of that world way easier.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, Picture City, I actually, one of my hardest parts, or one of the hardest parts of it, is I would say the first screen of the first level. Just something about that whole area is just really difficult to get the timing right and to traverse it and not die. I just remember that being super hard. But Bongo Hills absolutely destroyed. Because the first level, is it the first or the second, is like 5 or 6 areas back to back to back, and it's so easy to lose all your lives because they're not forgiving at all. With the exception of the vertical one.
I was at my granny's house with my cousins, and her neighbor, there was kids, and we were playing in the garden, and they sort of wanted to play with us. And then we went round to their house, and they had Rayman, and they said they'd never got past this level. And I was like, oh, I've got past this level. And they're like, no, you haven't. No one's got past it. And I was like, yeah, I have. And they were like, well, will you get us past it? And I was like, okay. So I did, and they were like so amazed. They were like, a god has entered our house. And that's the first time I remember ever feeling like I was good at games.
That's fair. That's really cool.
It was specifically the stormy level, the dark one, which I don't really think is that hard at all.
No, I think that one's also easier than the rest. It still has hard sections to it though. But yeah.
But yes, Rayman is known for being very difficult.
Yeah.
And it is. I don't think I've ever properly beaten it. I've always used the whenever you get to continue. The little continue screen, if you do like up, down, right, left, or something, it gives you 10 continues. So I would just do that all the time. But I have been feeling like maybe I know, because most games work like that nowadays. Yeah. Like it's completely nuts to run out of continues and be like, oh, okay, guess I got to start this game from the very beginning again. And what you could just do is just go back and get lives, but it's tedious. Like, why should you have to do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe one of these days I will try and see if I can beat the whole game. Um,
The original or Redemption?
the original. I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
properly beat it, just
Yeah.
so I
Fair
can say
enough.
that I did it.
Fair enough. That'd be fun.
Mm.
It's a good game. Do you have anything more? Was that your?
There's a few things I can mention. So, of course, if we go to the year, what year is it? 1998. We got a shout out to Speedy Egbert. Way!
I I don't know why I forgot that came out. Like, as in, I just forgot it existed. It's the kind of thing where you just forget it is an actual thing and not something I imagined until, oh, do you remember Speedy? Oh my God, I do. It's like a sleeper agent just awoken something in
Mm-hmm.
me. Yeah. Shout out
So
to
yeah,
Speedy Egbert.
Speedy Egbert. Another one is Worms on the
Hmm.
PS1. I have nostalgia for that game and no other version of Worms. I couldn't care less about any Worms except Worms on the PS1. I don't know why.
That's interesting because I don't have any nostalgia for Worms, and I don't think it was specifically Worms what I played, but I played a Flash version alternative on
Mm,
probably Miniclip in I want to say like maybe year 7, year 8 in a school computer room, and we just played that for about an hour, and I
hmm
remember it being really really fun. And I've tried to play and get into Worms since then, and I hate it. It's just not for me
Yeah.
at all.
As soon as the worms were not pixels, I was not interested in them.
Mm, fair enough.
I don't know why. I like them. I liked the weird aesthetic of Worms 1.
Cool.
And then one more thing that I'll say is Sonic. So I didn't realize like Sonic came a lot later than Mario.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I kind of think of them together as like competing. But
Yeah, it's 91, wasn't it?
so we had the NES, and my sister's friend, who I previously mentioned, had the PlayStation. But before that, she had the Sega. In fact, we had the Nintendo, and she had the Sega, and that's what we would say. You don't really say that these days, but
Mm.
occasionally, for like a month or so, we would swap consoles. Did
Oh,
you
that's
ever do
cool.
this? This was
No.
like a thing.
No, what we did is like we had a Sega and then we got a PS1
Hmm
and my neighbor her Sega broke, so we gave her ours because we now had a
hmm
PS1 and I've I I mean it was fine.
Mm,
But it was so no, we didn't switch consoles, but we gave ours away.
But like,
So
these days people would just get more consoles.
mm,
That's just what. Oh, I don't have that console,
mm,
or I'm gonna get that console. But like back in the day, this was like a thing. We'd be like, oh yeah, let's swap consoles for a month, and we'll play all the games.
mm.
So I think what she had a Taz game. She had
Tasmania possibly, yeah.
a Home Alone game, which was terrifying. And Sonic 2. So Sonic 2 was like my Sonic,
Yeah.
which is a pretty good one to have,
Yeah.
I
I
think.
don't think there's a bad one to be
Um,
fair.
yeah, so I have a lot of memories of Sonic. Again, I started my own like character that was like Sonic, some hedgehog character. Yeah, I made a lot of OCs as a kid, I guess.
Did you write any
He
fan
didn't.
fiction?
No. Well, I mean, it, I had my own style, so it didn't look like a Sonic character, but I had like a hedgehog hero that was like in a video game.
Mm.
Um, and so again, I didn't play it in the 90s, but since, of course, we have Sonic Spinball, which is kind of my favorite Sonic, is kind of seen as a joke. Um, but it's not. It's great. Everyone thinks it's a joke, and then they start playing it, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't actually that bad." And then later they're like, "Oh, this is quite good." And then later they're like, "I can't put this game down."
Mm.
Why does everyone see this game as a joke? It's not. Once you start playing
Yeah,
it,
I
you
think-
realize.
Yeah, I think it's because the concept of this game but pinball
Yeah, but
inherently is
Sonic has already got that. Was already Sonic. It's already
Yeah,
happening in Sonic.
but I think also retroactively, it has not been helped by the fact that there has been a Mario pinball, but like as in like it is similar to Spinball except it is just Mario turned into a ball kind of thing, and holy hell, it's bad. Like
I did not know that game existed until very recently when Raocow
okay,
played
yeah,
it.
same, yeah. You've seen the horrors that lie within that
Yes.
game. It
is interesting.
awful. Garbage design. It is unfathomable what the developers were thinking. I could list off 30 things that would just be little quality of life changes, which would make it infinitely better and fun to play. But that's neither here nor there. That didn't release in the 90s.
And I will give one final shout out. I didn't play it in the 90s, but it did come out in the 90s too. Of course, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Yeah.
Which most people will probably know as Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
But not me. That's Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, which I guess I first played when it was in the Sega Mega Collection or something. Yeah, I love that game.
It is a good game. I was not good at it, but it is a good game.
I am good at it.
Yeah,
it's
you
one
are.
of the few things I am good at.
Yeah, as you are with Tetris.
Yeah.
Your brain just understands everything about it, whereas mine does not. Yeah, it's a very fun game. I've got some, but like, I think what's interesting is you mentioned earlier with the GameCube controller, with the analog stick. PlayStation didn't actually release with analog.
That's true.
It was originally a controller with just the D-pad. It was much lighter. It was weirder to hold without them. It feels like something is missing. It is a very weird controller without it. And back then, the concept of an analog controller was quite new. It started with the N64 and then PlayStation. Actually, PlayStation came out before N64, so I don't know when the analog came out. It might have been around the same time. But the point being, they made a game that worked with the analog so that people could understand the brilliance of analog, so that people could just learn the intricacies of what an analog stick can be. And that game is Ape Escape.
Appease Cape.
Yes. It's so good. It's like... It's an interesting game because it's difficult to play. You move with the left analog stick. It has to be analog stick. And then you jump with R1. You don't jump with X, you jump with R1, one of the triggers. And you actually have a net to catch monkeys. And the net is controlled purely by the right analog stick, so you can rotate it in any direction. And then the face buttons, triangle, circle, X, square, they are different gadgets that you assign to them. There's, I think, 10 gadgets in the game, maybe 8, but there's a mixture of gadgets, and you can like switch over and assign them to different face buttons. So yeah, you're controlling the camera with L2 and R2, and I think L1 puts you in the first person, I think. Maybe the D-pad does that. L1 might be to like assign the camera in front of you or directly behind you or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so it utilizes the analog properly. It is designed where you have to learn how to play with an analog controller, which would have been new. And it works really well. By all accounts, when you say, "Oh, jump buttons on the triggers," like what? No, that shouldn't work. It does.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how intuitive it feels. Because you hear it and you think, no, this is going to be janky as hell. But because not really anything else does it. I mean, probably some things did it, but not enough. Like, I can't think of anything that did it.
Not
but
the same way.
It does work, so...
Yeah, and they did make sequels. A lot, actually. There's a lot of spin-offs as well. But, yeah, unfortunately, there hasn't been anything Ape Escape related in quite some time. until last year when there was a whole Aperscape level in Astrobot, which was very exciting. And now we just gotta hope, because everyone raved about that level, but Sony are listening, and they will make an Aperscape again, because it needs to be brought back. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's one of the more overlooked games, I would argue, from because there were such important games from the 90s, especially from Sony's library, which became mascots and stapled like franchises throughout its long history. And Aperscape did continue, but obviously it did die out, and it just was still more niche. Anything that was made by Japan Studio was always highly praised, but never truly took off. And it's interesting because that applies to everything they did. So like we covered The Legend of Dragoon. That was Japan Studio. It was successful. It just didn't take off. Even Team Eco, who did Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, games we hold in extremely high regard and just assume did well, it really didn't do well. Shadow of the Colossus, one of the biggest games of the generation, like arguably, in terms of its scope, in terms of how well received and how highly regarded beyond its launch it has been, it really was a flop. Like, it didn't sell. And it's crazy to think that that's the case, but it's true. And Evan, that is why Japan Studio doesn't exist anymore. It's been disbanded for Team Asobi, who make Astrobot. As it turns out, that worked because Astrobot was kind of a success. But it is a shame, because yeah, it wasn't just Japan Studio. There were also the Team Eco group. There was the Gravity Rush team. There's a bunch of them that all got disbanded and separated and poured into Team Asobi. And yeah, their long history started with stuff like Ape Escape, and a couple games before it, and it's always successful and wonderful. But I mean, games that I could mention, I've mentioned before. We got the Crashes and we got the Spyros. Toy Story 2 is one of the best 3D platformers of all time, and I did not include it in my soundtrack listing. Because I was going on a bit, but it is one of the best soundtracks in any game, I would argue. It is just a phenomenal soundtrack. It's not a huge soundtrack, it's only like 20 to 25 songs, but it is all fantastic. Tumby 2, Croc, Croc 2, I prefer Croc 2, I love Croc 1. I prefer Croc 2. I get excited to play it again every time I do have the urge. So yeah, it's just there's been so many games, and there's also things that I have only played recently that I mean I haven't even really finished it before, but stuff like Super Metroid, huge game for Nintendo, that's interesting because like Metroid sort of. They've had Super Metroid, they've had Metroid Prime, and then after the Prime games, Metroid just sort of died for like 10 plus years. It's only really until they did Metroid Dread where it really came back. Because they did do some on the 3DS and stuff, but yeah, it just sort of died. But Super Metroid was a huge game and very popular and incredibly well received now.
Metroid was not on my radar until one game. Can you guess what that game was?
Oh, no. No.
Just have a guess.
My first thought is the Metroid 2 fan game news story thing, but
oh no, I knew about Metroid before then.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you were a kid at the time?
I don't know exactly how old I was.
Okay. Would it have been Prime? Would David have told you about it?
David didn't know. It was not. Okay, I'll just tell you. Yeah. It was Metroid Prime Hunters on the DS.
Okay.
Which is a really weird jumping in point for Metroid. My friend had it, and he was playing it a lot, and I was like, "What is this?" I didn't realize the whole history of Metroid. I thought it was this game about all these cool hunter characters. And I definitely remember the weird perverted DS efforts. Do you remember those?
No, not really.
Can I touch it? Will you let me touch it?
Oh,
Do you remember that?
no, not at all.
That was their whole advertising campaign.
That sounds terrible.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, there's been a lot of incredible games that Nintendo have released. And maybe we'll talk about some of them now because I've got a list of the best-selling games of the decade.
Okay.
And this is according to data from VG charts. So
yes. VUG charts.
yeah, so would you
Veg
like
charts.
to guess any of the top 10?
Any of the top 10? I'm gonna go
I
Super
will-
Mario Bros. No, wait. No. I got confused.
No, I will add to that. Let me see how many of them.
Super Mario World
two
is
of
what I
them,
meant.
Two of them did not actually release in the 90s. They were just massively popular and sold a lot in the 90s.
Okay.
But Super Mario World is number 3 at 20.61 million.
Are the two that didn't release in the 90s Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda?
No.
Okay.
You're close with one of them.
Is it Link to the Past?
No, that actually did release in the 90s.
Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, Mario Bros.
Sense.
3 sold 15 million in the
Wow.
90s.
Yeah, that was one of the 3 games I had on the NES.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'll give you a hint. The other game that didn't release in the 90s, it released in 89, is the highest selling game of the 90s.
Tetris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
26.5 million. Huge.
Wow, okay.
Because it released on the Game Boy. You could play it anywhere.
Yes, yeah, right.
So, yeah.
So, 90s.
Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't mention some of these games in my list, because I will bring them up here.
Okay. So, surely there is a Zelda game on the list. But Ocarina of Time, surely.
Ocarina of Time was 14. 7.1 million. Yeah, only 14.
That was like for a long time considered the greatest game of all time.
Yeah, and yet not in the top 10.
Okay. Not. If that's not in there, I can't see what other Zelda one would be in there.
There isn't actually a Zelda in the top 10.
No. Wow, okay.
That is the highest. That is the highest.
Poor Zelda and her legend. Poor Zelda and her green hat and pointy ears. Okay. So I'm gonna say Crash Bandicoot Warped?
No. The best Crash was Crash 2, and that is only 15th at 7 million.
That sold more than Crash 3.
Yeah.
That is a big surprise to me because
I think
anyone who had Crash 3.
Crash 3 did come out in 98. It's quite late into the decade.
Right.
I would imagine that's why. I think probably overall it did sell better, but in the decade itself, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Crash 2. Spyro...
Not in the top 15.
1?
None of the Spyros in the top 15. Spyro 1, I will say, came out in 98. It was really late.
Really? It was that late?
Yeah, I know.
It's the Mario and Sonic thing again.
Yeah, Spyro came out 2 years after Crash 1. You think they just came out at the exact same time. They really didn't. Because you also associate Ratchet and Jack coming out at the same time. Again, they didn't.
Yeah.
Jack came out in 2001, Ratchet 2002. They weren't actually at the same time. Because there was actually, like, the marketing for both franchises, Crash, Spyro, Ratchet and Jack, they both were like, these games are coming out this year. Like, they're huge. Check them out. Both together. Mascots. Unite. Like, but they weren't. It wasn't 1 and 1, 2 and 2. It was always like 1 and 2, 2 and 3, etc. So it's just very interesting that it's kind of like an effect that people just sort of forgot over the years.
Okay. I'm guessing Doom came out in the 80s. but did Quake come out in the 90s and did it make enough to sell?
They both came out in, I believe, 95.
They both? What do you mean? Doom came out before Quake, surely?
Sorry, Quake came out in fact in 96. Doom came out in 95. I know this because of my Barbie video. And I know that they're not in this list before this because
What? Doom is not in this list?
nope. Barbie fashion designer sold more copies than Doom and Quake.
Okay. Barbie fashion designer.
No, it's also not there. But it sold more copies because it had a thing where you could print out. You could design dresses and stuff, and you could print it out on fabric paper with a unique printer. But it gave you the materials and stuff for it. And you could create your own Barbie doll through this game, and it sold wildly, which is why it was added to the Museum of Gaming Excellence the other year. For being such an influential game, and rightfully so. It sold better than Doom. That's awesome. Fair play.
I can't believe Doom came out in 95.
I think it was 95, but yeah.
I really thought it was older than that. What else? What other games?
Some of these you probably won't get.
How many have I got so far?
1, 2, 3. Yep.
Final Fantasy VII
is number 10 at 9.25 million.
I wonder if any of the others are on there.
I will say that is the only Sony game in the top 10.
Okay.
Number 12 is Gran Turismo.
Granny's Tiramisu.
We got 8.6. Also, it's a great name. You haven't listed number 2, which is arguably the biggest game of the decade and of all time.
Yeah.
One of all time.
Yeah, I haven't listed that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is, of course,
5,
Sonic.
4.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, there is not a Sonic game in the top 15.
Not a Sonic game.
Nope.
What? I don't remember the 90s at all.
The Genesis didn't actually sell that well. It did good, but comparatively to Nintendo, you can't beat them. They were the kings.
Okay. Man,
I'm gonna help you out.
This is way harder than I thought. Is Metal Gear on there? I feel like it's probably not.
It's not. I'm gonna help you out. Number 5 at 14 million is Super Mario Land. Number 6 at 11.
Super Mario Land?
Because it's Game Boy. You can take it anywhere. Game Boy was so
Pokemon,
big.
Pokemon.
Red, green, and blue. 23.
I can't believe I was obsessed with the Pokemon, not the games, but the anime. I was absolutely obsessed with it. I don't know why I didn't say that.
23.5 million. And that came out in February of 96. In 4 years, it nearly beat Tetris. Mario World. You did mention Mario World. Mario World had 20 million. But that came out November of 1990. So in 4 years, 6 more years, 6 less years, it beat it by 3 million. Like, just crazy popular. And then it only just spiraled out of control for the rest of time.
And it's still spiraling out of control.
Yeah. Number 8.
I never had a Game Boy, so
I don't think you'll get 8.
I have a blind spot.
Super Mario All Stars for the SNES.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
which is
that makes sense. I feel like I knew so many people that had that.
So
but
there are 2 that you should go for. I'll give you the number 7. I'll give you the consoles, the N64.
I didn't have that. I went around to a friend's house once and they had that.
Come on.
64?
Yeah. Nice.
Super Mario 64 was in what year?
Yep, it was 96. 10.7 million.
96?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And there's one more. Number 9. 9 million.
Number 9.
For the SNES.
See, I don't really have an idea of what games did good.
I can help you out. I watched a trailer for this franchise the other day.
A Donkey Kong game? Is it Donkey Kong Country?
It is indeed Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, the other one that there were two others because I had the top 15. 11th was Super Mario Kart at 8.7, and 13 was Mario Kart 64 at 8.5.
Mm.
So yeah,
I would never have guessed that.
well,
Donkey Kong Country sold more than
it was very popular.
Sonic.
Again, it's a Nintendo. Nintendo versus Sega is just more popular. Well, those are the top selling games. Interestingly, none of the top 10 selling games are in the top 10 ranked games according to Metacritic.
Ah.
Would you like to take a stab at any of the 10?
Okay, Ocarina of Time is definitely there.
It's number 1, yeah. It's
So none of those 10 is in the...
No. You mentioned some of the 10.
Okay.
I also mentioned one of the 10.
From these ones are from the 90s then, so...
Yes, these are from the 90s, specifically from the 90s.
Is Sonic the Hedgehog in there?
It's not.
Um,
Number 10 is ranked 94.
Doom. Doom is in there.
Is not there.
Doom is not there.
But...
But Quake is...
Quake is number 8.
Is Quake... I haven't played Doom or Quake.
94.
Is Quake that much better than Doom?
I don't know. Apparently. According to user ratings, Ocarina of Time is not deserving of the number 1 spot in Metacritic history, so...
Okay.
It's fair.
So Mario 64 is not on there.
No. I did mention one of them, because it was lower down.
Tomb Raider?
Tomb Raider is not there.
You mentioned one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you mention it if it wasn't on the list?
I mentioned it was one of the 11 to 15. It wasn't the top 10.
My memory's not that good.
That's fine. It's a racing game.
Oh, Granny's Tiramisu.
It is Granny's Tiramisu. It was number 6. Has 96 Metascore.
Okay. And also on that list is...
What did you play
Tony Hawk's Pro?
No, that came out a little later.
Okay.
You played a game with David. What was that?
That was F-Zero.
No, that came out. That was GameCube. What was
yeah.
You played a different one.
Soul Calibur?
Yeah, Soul Calibur 1.
Soul Calibur is
number
really?
1. Yeah, the first one. Has a 98.
Okay.
98 out of 100. Incredibly well received.
I'm not really a fighting games guy. I tend to just mash buttons and do okay.
There is another fighting game on this list. Would you like to guess what
it is? Tekken? 2? 3?
Yeah! 96 out of 100.
You know Soul Calibur, one of the Soul Calibur games has Yoda and Darth Vader in it.
Yeah. I mean, the one you play has Link in it.
Yeah. Which makes more sense. It doesn't really make sense to me, but it makes more sense than Yoda and Darth Vader.
We covered a Rare game recently.
We covered a Rare game.
It was a spiritual successor to...
Did we cover a Rare game recently?
Yeah. Perfect Dark. It was a spiritual successor to... James Bond.
Yes.
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
96.
I was going to say that for the first list, and I forgot.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't have been right anyway, so...
You mentioned Metal Gear Solid.
Mm-hmm.
That was number 10. 94. There are 3 more that I think you know all of these games. I don't think you'd get them.
Okay.
So I'm going to say number 7.
Final Fantasy 7 is not on that list.
Nope, not high enough.
Wow.
Number 7 is Sid Meier's Civilization 2.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have... It's just not on my radar. I know the game, but it doesn't ever come to my mind.
Yeah, that had 94. Is that 95 or 96? It's too small. Number 5, I think it says 96. Half-Life.
Right. Yep.
I wouldn't have thought
Yeah,
that,
makes sense.
but yeah, does make sense. And number 9, this surprised me. With a 94, Grim Fandango.
Really? That's
Yeah.
considered the game that killed point and click adventure games.
And yet,
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's wrongly called that, but that's what it was considered at the time.
well, there you are.
Well, I guess this is the thing is that these are in hindsight,
Mm.
people look back and are like, things were going a certain way at the time.
Well,
But
I have got a fun quiz for you. A different
a
quiz.
fun quiz.
I got a different quiz. I need to get a timer. How do I edit the timer? That's a good question.
I would imagine it's quite simple.
You'd think. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Are you going to cut out this bit of you?
No.
Okay.
Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. So here's what I'm gonna do.
3 minutes.
Yes. So I'm going to.
Are you sure you want to find a different amount of time?
No. You have to say the name of the game that
Okay.
I'm giving you. I'm only going to give you the first syllable of each word.
Okay, I love it.
You
Let's
may
go.
pass if you can't think of it, but we'll try and go back to it. So there are, how many are there here? There are 18, I think. I'm giving you 3 minutes.
We're gonna get all of them.
All right. Let's go. Marpa.
Shit, but Mario Party.
Correct. Lem.
Lemmings.
Correct. Doom.
Doom.
Correct. Fate Fear.
Fatal Fury.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fee 9. This one's mean.
Fee 9.
Fee 9. You may pass if you want to.
I pass.
Med.
Are you saying med or met?
Med. D.
Medlovo. No.
I love this.
Med.
It's one word.
Yeah. But what is that word?
You can pass if you want.
I pass.
Tech.
We'll come back to it. What was that?
Tech.
Oh,
Tech.
it's gone badly. I'm in a funk now. Tech.
Come on. Tech.
Oh God, what's happened to me? Tech. No, pass.
Sure.
Chur?
Sure.
What are you saying?
Sure.
Chur?
Yes.
Chur?
T-U-R. Sure.
Churok.
Correct. Die War.
Dino Wars? Dino?
No.
Die War? Die... Pass.
Leg of Man. It's more ledge of man. Ledge of man.
Legends of Mana.
Yes. Starcont. Starcont. I enjoy it just for the name.
What? Star Fox?
Starcont.
No. Star...
Cont.
No, pass.
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed.
Yo Store.
Yoshi's Story.
Yes. Desder.
Say that again.
Desder.
Destiny. Despacito. Desperate. No. Pass.
Verfight.
Verdant. Why is it so
Fight.
hard? Fighters.
You're
Oh,
out of time.
how? No!
That was 3 minutes.
How many are left?
There are 3 more if you want to go for them.
Just do them.
Spy Gate to Glim.
Spyro. Was it not Spyro? It's just Spyro, not Spyro the Dragon.
Spyro.
Spyro Gateway to Glimmer.
Yeah. Fool.
Huh?
Fool.
Fool. What?
F-A-L-L. Fool.
Oh, Fall.
Yes, fool.
Fallout.
Yes. This one's mean. The Sea of Monk Eye.
The Secret of Monkey Island.
Yes, very good. The ones you passed on. Fee 9.
Say them again. Fee 9. That's definitely Phoenix
No.
9.
FIFA 95.
FIFA. Oh,
Med was medieval.
medieval. Right.
Die War Dynasty Warriors.
Right. Oh. See, I always call it Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Desta Destruction Derby.
Right.
And Verfight Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
Now.
What was the what was you missed one?
Sure.
Oh no, I
You got that. You
yeah.
got Chuck. I'm pretty sure I went through them all. Now I've got 10 more for you. I'm going to give you the last syllable.
Okay.
I'll give you 3 minutes again because these are hard.
Okay.
So, all right. Bees chur.
Oh, this is much harder. Bees chur.
Yes, bees chur.
Kirby's Adventure.
Yes. Ted Tool.
TED
Oh,
Talks.
yeah. Ted Tool.
Wanted. Ted Tall.
Ted Tool.
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 Uh,
T-A-L. Ted Tool.
don't know. Pass.
Dentville.
Resident Evil.
Correct. Fun-ter.
Fun-ter.
Fon-ter.
Fon.
P-H-O-N. Fon. Fon-ter.
Pass.
Z-E.
Z-E.
Z-I, then I. Z-E.
Oh.
It is much harder.
Pass.
Man, the Great Cape.
The Great something. Rayman the Great Escape.
Yeah. Man, the Great Cape. Tullbat.
Toll Bat.
Tullbat.
Oh. Oh. Mortal Kombat.
Correct. Noah.
Noah. Is that one word? Klonoa. Yeah.
Yes. Blow.
Blow.
B-L-O. Blow.
Diablo.
Yep. Final one. Badigo.
Badigo. Is that one word?
No, 3 words. B-A-D-E-G-O. Badigo.
Oh God.
Yes. It's hard.
Tomba.
No.
No. Ba. What game ends in ba?
It is really hard.
De go.
As is Z-E. But yeah.
Badigo. Badigo. Oh.
30 seconds.
No. What could end in ba? It's got to be a name, surely. Roomba? Goomba?
Keep going around the Roomba vibe.
Rumba?
Different.
Mamba? Parappa? No. Say again, ba?
Bad to go. Not Roomba. Not Mamba.
Zumba?
No. You're out of time. Different dance.
Samba?
Oh, you don't know it. Samba de
I don't know
Amigo.
it. Is it the thing with the guy?
Yeah, Samba
The
de
little
Amigo.
monkey guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the game's called,
Okay,
but I recognize the guy.
Samba de Amigo. You got Mortal Kombat. You didn't get Ted Tool, which is Twisted Metal.
Right.
Did you get Fonta?
No.
That was. Oh, you can go for it.
Fonter. What?
Yes.
Spell it.
Phonter.
I don't know.
Siphon Filter.
Okay, I don't know that game.
PS1, very popular. Yeah. Made by the same developers who made Bubsy 3D.
Ah.
ZE is so mean.
Bubsy 3D?
No. Crazy
Z...
Taxi.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Fun.
Was there another I missed?
No, I think that was all of them. You got all.
Okay.
I'm very impressed that you got Bees Chur. Because I wasn't sure if that was going to be too difficult. But no. Good. Very good. Congratulations.
That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yes. Yes. There was a lot that I changed because I was like, no, that's impossible. Like you're never getting this. But yeah, it's Thesaurus time. We've done so many quizzes. Let's go more.
Yeah, it's the quiz episode.
All right, let's go. I've got one for you.
Oh, did we ever say that why we're doing this is because no game released 25 years ago?
Yes, so that's not strictly true. A game did release. So the problem with release dates is they are wildly inaccurate, where depending on the source you look for. So I thought that there was nothing that came out this week. Turns out one of the games that comes out that we're doing next week also did come out this week.
Oh, okay.
But whatever. Sometimes it's good to do something different.
Wouldn't we have just a blank week next week then, if that was the case?
No, because there were 2 games that come out next week.
Okay.
2 games. But that is fine. Anyway, I've got one for you. Intake Crescent.
I want to say something moon? Harvest Moon?
Correct.
Well, add the applause sound.
No.
Hooray!
Well, that took you 3 whole seconds. Let's see how many hours it takes me.
Look. This one, it might be tricky, but I think if you get just one of the words, you'll get the whole thing. Are you ready?
No.
It is Factories Contra Infected.
What was the second word?
Contra.
Contra.
Contra. Don't focus on that one because you almost certainly don't know what it means.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means outside of
Nope, I didn't know this meant that either.
Okay, factories. So what's the final word?
Infected.
Infected. Okay. So infected, maybe virus. Could be that. Factories. Building, establishment. It's not likely to be that. Workforce. Yes, I see where we're going with this. It's, as we do each week.
I think you're just gonna at some point clock one of the words and then you get the whole thing.
Sure. I presume one of those words is not Contra.
If you knew what Contra meant, then for sure it would be. But like,
yeah.
Or you could guess what Contra might mean.
I've heard the term contraband, but like I don't really know what it means outside of like it's an illegal thing.
I don't think. I guess Contra is Latin, right?
I didn't even know that. Okay.
Well, probably. I mean, a lot of weird words.
Fair enough. So the final word was infected.
Yes.
Infected. Control. Maybe. Could be control.
Yeah, maybe don't focus on Contra.
I'm not focusing on Contra.
Oh, okay. I thought it's because Contra sounds like control.
No. I'm just trying to think. There are games with the word control in, but I'm trying to think if
Control.
It's the last one. Yes, exactly like Control.
In the case of Control, it is the last one.
Yeah.
And the first.
Yeah. It's happens to not be that game, I believe. Okay. Factories. Give me a year. When roughly did this come out?
2009.
Interesting. 2009.
I could not tell you if you've played this game or not.
Interesting. What's it for?
First released for Windows and Mac OS X. It has. That's what it first released on.
Yes.
I think it's probably on a lot of things now.
Windows and Mac, 2009. So, Factories contra virus. No.
Nope, infected.
Infected. I came up with virus. Infected. I feel like I do know it.
I'll give you a clue. Infected is not an adjective in this.
That
in this
doesn't
context.
help me.
An adjective is a describing word.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of is, but it also kind of isn't.
Yeah. That doesn't help me.
When you think of infected, what do you think of? Especially when it comes to video games.
Oh, it's zombie. Zombie, 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 zombie. It's not The Walking Dead. That would, I presume.
It is not.
2009, though.
What about factories?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I can't think of another word for factory. Like, the word I would use for factory is factory, so it doesn't. My brain isn't going to anything else. Or like a work building. That doesn't. I'm sure there are many words that I've used to describe other than factory, but the only one that comes to mind right now is factory, and that doesn't help me. If that's the word you were hoping I would get, that's not good for me. Genre. What type of game is it? I suspect I know the answer, but...
No, I feel like the genre is going to maybe give you a good idea of what this game is.
Oh.
It is a tower defense game.
That might not help. Because the only one I can think of right now is Bloons. I don't really play tower or watch tower defense. Is the Orcs? Orcs Must Die or something?
It is not Orcs Must Die.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that. Yeah, I don't know any... Oh, God. What tower defense games are there?
I think your brain just switches off when we go to thesaurus mode. You forget everything you know.
My brain is saying Factorio, but I know that's not it. Yeah, that doesn't help. I think I'm gonna have to give up, but humor me. What does contra actually mean?
It means versus.
That doesn't help me.
You've just 100% forgotten this game exists.
Yeah, probably. Something versus. Oh, is that something versus zombies? Something.
The fact you have not just got it now, you've completely forgotten this game exists.
Yeah, I clearly have. Something versus zombies.
Yes.
What's the first word?
Something that means factories.
Plants!
Plants! Plants vs Zombies.
You're right. I have forgotten that game existed. Also,
Yep.
I hear how factories can convert to plants.
Mm-hmm.
I see it. I
But your
disagree
brain wouldn't
with
go
it. I don't like it. I don't care for it. No, you're right. I entirely forgot that game existed. Like that. Yeah, that had been eliminated from. I haven't thought about that franchise in a very long time.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I have. I played it when it came out,
Hmm.
or if not directly, like pretty shortly after. Yeah, I used to really like it.
Yeah, I
Um,
like Plants vs Zombies.
it is one of the few tower defense stuff I guess I have played.
Mm-hmm.
There is one other, but I couldn't tell you the name because it was a. I'm reluctant to even say indie. Like it was one of those games that you would find on PS3 for like £1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a flash game turned into a game that was just released on modern hardware. And yeah, it was just a really really fun tower defense game that I think it was free with PS Plus 1 month. Again,
Did you ever
could
did
not
you
tell
ever
you the
play
name.
Pokemon Tower Defense? Did you remember that?
No, no idea what
Someone
that
made the
is.
first Pokemon game into a tower defense game.
Oh, okay. No, I've no
And
idea.
I thought it was really cool,
I've not seen
but I
the
haven't thought about that in a long time.
not
Also,
seen
the
that at all.
first game I made was a tower defense game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We did a game jam at a university.
Hmm.
I did the music for it.
Cool. No, I've not played that either.
It was called Landlubbers,
Ah, nice.
and it was about defending the beach from crabs.
Cool. So did you create the music? Was it sort of pirate-ish themed or beach, like aggressive beach folk?
I could play it for you. It's obviously not copyright music because
No.
it's mine.
Yeah.
I made Let me just see if I can find it. You get the idea, but there was going to be a big mecha crab at the end that you fight. The crab boss music. Oh, the mecha crab is coming! Oh no, the mecha crab!
Dead. It sounds again. Hearing it from here sounds good. It's cool.
There we go. There's some Emil lore for you.
Yeah.
It's
I had
the
not
game
heard those. That's
Landlubbers.
lovely.
You'll never ever play it because I don't know where it is.
Fair enough. Well, I guess we'll move on to a question. We like to interact. We like to end.
We like to interact.
We like to end with interaction from you. Yeah, we got an email, gamingtextages@gmail.com. Leave an email with gaming stories and questions and stuff and things, or in the YouTube comments, whatever works. Happy to receive questions. Our topic this week: games you've spent the most hours in and why?
Oh my goodness.
Why have you spent
Why?
so long playing these games? What?
Because video games are pretty cool.
They do. They do take ages. That's correct. That's the reason. Okay, so I'll start.
Let's change the name. Video games are pretty cool.
Yeah. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. It's easy to go back to. It is relaxing. It is satisfying to play. It is a very, very fun, just de-stress game for me. And also, I've been conditioned to play it forever because it had monthly unlockables. So, unlocking that took a great portion of my time, and it was fun because I enjoyed playing online and destroying everyone. It's very satisfying when you feel like a god. And I felt like a god every day playing that game. So, yeah. I mean, you've seen me play. You know that I'm pretty good.
Yeah, you're right, I guess.
Yeah, all right. I would not say I'm actually. I do not believe I'm god tier. There are people who are way better than I am, but I am. I would be remiss to not say I
You're a
am
demigod.
bloody awesome at the game. I know that I am good at it, and it was
Hercules
fun.
tier.
So yeah, I love that game. I've put probably 1,000 hours into it, and there's also the original Crash Team Racing, but I have put less time into that, just because I've put so much more into this newer one now, and I hope it comes to PC one day. We can only hope. Otherwise, Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal, I've played them both in Japanese and English, and I've done multiple playthroughs, so I'm probably close to 1,000 plus hours on that, if not more. So, yep, they're pretty great games. Like Kingdom Hearts, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, blah blah blah. From the sheer amount I've played them over the years, throughout multiple re-releases or multiple playthroughs or what, just so many hours, just because childhood games. Likewise, childhood game, Pokemon Gen 3, so Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. Sapphire was my first Pokemon game, and then I also got Emerald because, it's more Pokemon. That's how they get you. And yeah, I just used to play it a lot. And I'm one of those kids, because for those who don't know somehow, Pokemon only has one save file. I was one of those kids who had around 200 plus hours and was like, I want to start over. But I obviously didn't back up any of my Pokemon or saves or anything, so I did, and I started over. And I did, after midway through, feel regret, because I'd lost it all, and that was the curse. And then finally, it's more of an obscure one, but Mario Party 9, because I used to speedrun it. There's a lot more depth in that game than people give it credit for. And one day you will play it, and I will make you speedrun it, and you will have a good time.
Oh, you will you? Okay.
Yes, you will. One day, I will make you learn the wonders of how to move around boards that look like they're linear. I mean, they still are linear, but you have more control than you think. I will teach you the ways. And that's my section. It's quick this time.
That's your section, yeah. Mine, I mean, I feel like I don't have a real measurement of a lot of these games, but I'm almost certain the game that I've played the most must be Minecraft at this point. Minecraft was a big escape for me, especially at a time I was in a bad relationship and I started building a city. And that city is very big. That was where I got away, built my city, switched off my brain. That's a big city, which I don't really want to go back to be honest.
I'm sorry.
But I'm not in that relationship anymore.
No.
And I'm in a much nicer one.
Yes.
And I still play Minecraft a lot
Yeah.
as part of that relationship. So, yeah, Minecraft probably the most.
Yeah, because I guess it doesn't have anything in game that tells you.
No, there's probably a way that I could. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's not a Steam game, so it wouldn't be like, oh, you've put this many hours in, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
But it's a lot. I played it a lot.
Yeah, fair.
There's no end, so.
No.
I mean, there is an end, but it's not. It's not really the end. I mean, it is the end, but it's not really the end. Other than that, I think probably Star Wars Battlefront 2 I have played a lot over the years. It's kind of the game that I always come back to. There's a lot of games that I come back to. Like Jak and Daxter was probably the other game that I always come back to, but I don't think I've played that as much as I played Star Wars Battlefront 2. I played a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And a lot of it has been with friends, which is great. To be able to play a game that much with people is like, it's very hard to play games with other people a lot of the time. But when you have a group of people that all love one game, and then you can just play that game a lot, it's a real joy of life. Yeah, and I'm still playing. I mean, I haven't played it in a while, but we did start playing it a few months ago, and that was good. And the final answer I will give is from my Steam. I've put. It's not actually that many hours, but for the game it is. I put 410 hours into Enter the Gungeon. That's my highest.
That's quite a lot of hours.
Yes. And you know what? Probably even like, I haven't even got everything in that game at this point. There's still stuff I haven't got. like 200 hours into that, I was finding new things in that game that completely blew my mind and understanding of what was going on in this game. Like I was like, that was a thing this whole time? How did I not know about this? No, in fact, I tell a lie. There is something I still haven't found, did not know about until I saw it at Games Done Quick, and I was like,
Oh, right.
400 hours into this game, I never knew that was a thing. And like, I'm the kind of person that when I play games, I don't like to look things up. I like the game to tell me in its own way. That when you look things up, I feel like you are robbing yourself of that feeling. And if you don't care about that feeling, that's fine. Go and look stuff up. But for me, that feeling is one of the best parts of games. So, especially with Stardew Valley is the other one. Everyone always looks stuff up for that. I'm like, nope, the game is going to tell me. So I'm not a frequent wiki browser. Oh, wiki browser! Yo, what's up? It's me, wiki browser. Why is wiki browser the funniest combination of words? Wiki browser. So yeah, Enter the Gungeon. Oh my god, it has so much depth to that game, and I put so much time into that game. Love it. I love it. I recommend it. I really do. Wiki browser. I mean, the second most played game for me on Steam is Among Us, which probably most of the time is
Really? Not
waiting in the
Stardew?
lobby. No. Second is Among Us. I put 281 hours into that,
Wow.
which I'm guessing most of that time is waiting around in lobbies.
I've not even put like 100 into Among Us.
Really?
Yeah.
Must have played a lot
played
without
it.
you.
Yes, you sure did.
Yeah,
no, because you play when I go to sleep. So.
Yeah, that's true. Third is Towerfall Ascension, which for a long time was my most played game. Most people play Towerfall Ascension for the multiplayer mode. Most of my time has been spent on the like quest mode, which is really fun. I love it, and I've played through it a lot of times, but it does get really hard, and that's why I've had so many hours in that. The fourth game, can you guess what that is?
Celeste.
No. I put 248 hours into this one. It was 250 into Towerfall. 248 hours I put into. It's a game that we've played together ever since it came out. Well, we haven't played it in a while, but we certainly play. Nope, it is Fall Guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I don't know why I put that many hours into Fall Guys. I played a lot in the first season.
Yeah, you did play a lot in the first
and
season.
not that much since. But that's a lot of time for that.
Yeah.
And then the fifth game is Stardew Valley.
If your computer didn't keep crashing at the end of it, I reckon you probably would have put near 1,000 hours.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So that was
yeah,
my top
because you love Gungeon, I'm assuming you're quite excited for Gungeon 2.
I am, yes.
That got announced during Nintendo's thing,
but
also
in a very unfortunate time.
Yeah, it didn't get announced during Nintendo's thing because it couldn't be.
It like froze and the sound was gone or something.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It froze on a
very
game.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, it froze on a game for about 10 minutes, and then the sound was desynced, and then they had to rewind.
Yeah, and I think it came back on Enter the Gungeon or something.
Yeah, it came back. If it wasn't on Enter the Gungeon, it was the one after, but the sound was still desynced.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, whoa, what?
Yeah. and then it caught up, and because at first they had the Final Fantasy music, or they said Final Fantasy. I was like, oh my god, is this going to be a new Final Fantasy game? No, I can't have it be spoiled now. Like, what whilst it's doing this, and then it was like, okay, no, it's just 7. I don't care. It's just 7 remake. We know this game exists. It's been out for like 5 years or whatever. But yeah, that was a very stressful time for them, I imagine. But it didn't hinder them.
No, it was fine.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's just game announcements.
in many ways.
Some life-saving advice.
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, it might have been more beneficial for them because it got a lot of press. No press is bad. I mean, some might be, but generally speaking, it doesn't really harm you in the long run. you're probably fine. So, fair play. But yeah, there we go.
Those are some games.
That was indeed. And that was an episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you'd like to email in with questions and stories and topics and philosophical debates and stuff and things, gamingtakesages@gmail.com. Next week, Omicron, The Nomad Soul, and Deus Ex. And then the week after that, July 4th, Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, featuring Wiki Browser. So,
Wiki Browser.
sounds like a DJ. Browser. Anyway, good. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now.
Goodbye, everybody.